1 year ago, I released my biggest 3D project on Spider-Man vs. the Rhino, and it's now time for my brand new project. It will be on the same The Amazing Spiderman 2 theme, but this time I want to create what should have been the famous cutscene from the clock towers. Just after Gwen's death, when Peter gets angry and stops holding back against Green Goblin. I also want this project to be a challenge for me and force myself to learn something new. So I decided to model most of the assets myself, include face animation and push the simulation even further. I can't wait to show you what I've done. So let's go. The script is already written. Peter beats Harry with extreme violence. So what I have now to define is action, dialogue, and interaction with the environment. I have planned to break this project down into 3 phases. The first one, Peter cries at the bottom level of the clock tower because of the death of Gwen, when he hears the Green Goblin mocking and suddenly he rushes to avenge. The second one, the fight starts violently. It takes place in the floor of the tower, making them up and down fighting. The third one is, the fight takes place in the air above the tower on the Green Goblin's glider and end up with a crash at the top of the tower, under the dome. I really want to portray Spider-Man as a menacing and really intimidating character. And that's all for the pitch. I will now take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Skillshare is the largest online knowledge sharing community for all creative fields, from visual effects to music production and also filmmaking. Whatever your current level is, you will be able to progress because Skillshare offers more than 700 online courses on everything related to Blender. This class about texturing in Blender helped me improve my skill and allow me to be able to create better texture for my model on this project. All the courses are nicely divided into clean chapters, which make them very easy and pleasant to follow. And this will allow you to improve your creative skill in Blender quickly. And the greatest thing in all of this, the first 500 people to click my link or scan this QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. Especially if you're new to Blender or visual effects in general. It's a great way to build up a solid foundation of skills quickly while having fun. So go get this 3 months now and let's continue with the video. So let's see a list of assets that I need to create for this video. We have Spider-Man, obviously, an Andrew Garfield face, a Dane DeHaan face, entire Green Goblin armor, the Green Goblin glider, all of these gadgets as bomb and shuriken, Emma Stone face and full body, and the full environment, the clock tower. I will directly get through the model that I can get already done. So I get this Spider-Man model by Brave GVFX and an Emma Stone face model by Guy Tarsvader. I still have to do the body and clothes, but it was much quicker like this. The number 1 challenge of this project is first to be able to create photorealistic model resembling the actor. I have learned a lot over the months on realistic portrait in Blender, with a huge evolution will get me from this to this. But in the end, I still didn't like Andrew's model, even after more than 45 different versions. So I accepted the fact that it was out of my current skill set, and I called a friend who provided me with a much better model of Andrew, which I only had to redo the texture. The face texture is an assembly of hand-painted map, skin port displays, and some node group, and this allows me to manage the setting of the skin texture for each shot individually. Like if I want more specular on the lips, like more displays in the pore skin or thing like this. It's quite useful when you work with close-up or distant shot. Same process for the Green Goblin face. It was faster since I avoided to make all the mistakes I had made on Andrew's model. It is not 100% similar, but the results satisfy me. To add this big scar and vein on his head, I use some solidify modifier with displace modifier on top. I paint the area where I want this deformation with white paint, and then I finally add a subdivision surface modifier to smooth everything out. It's quite slow in the viewport, so I will hide the viewport visibility to show it only in the final render. Now we had eyebrow, then ears, on top of the head as well, and finally detail like micro hair and fine beard. At first I had planned to use a meta-human face rig, much more efficient, so I imported one of these rigs into Blender. Then I hand sculpted the 260 shape key before connecting them to the rig with 260 driver. It gave me an excellent result, but unfortunately the rig was too unstable because the driver were regularly disconnected, and the rig could not be imported into another project without a bug. I finally abandoned this idea to use only Faceit add-on. And here is the result. They are ready to be animated. The goblin's armor was also a real challenge. I had to model more than 320 individual pieces using reference from Weta Digital. Then I mirrored everything to get a final model with more than 640 individual pieces. After retopologizing everything and UV unwrap all this mess, I did a texture in Substance Painter to get the final look.
The result is really close to the original, so I'm very proud of myself.
I then applied a human body rig with Rigify that I heavily modified to make all parts of the armor work together. I didn't want any rigid metal part to deform organically, so I used a lot of bone with different constraints and sometimes pre-records animation controlled by action modifier to get those precise mechanical movements. The same process again for the glider, which has about 1200 pieces total. I then create a 100% customized rig with useful function, as for example a switch who inverts the curvature of the wing. You can buy this model on my Skillshare now, and you can also get a 50% discount on each with a code in the description. For the clock tower, it was quite simple compared to the previous model. I modeled everything roughly at first, then I refined and I made sure to separate the tower in sections that I can clone infinitely to give it the desired height. After several months of work, I finally have all my assets in my possession. And I am now able to move on to the animation part, my favorite one. This part is the most tricky one to talk about because I don't want to reveal the visual too soon. But I will still show you a little bit and tell you about some shots, as well as how they were made. Take for example this shot. I wanted a powerful and fast punch combo. I first tried to animate it without any reference, which gave me a result was too fast and hard to understand. So I take some time to film an animation reference in my living room. I first place a camera into the space with the background image active. I add my reference clip, then I position the camera to match the positioning of my character to the reference. Then I duplicate the camera and switch the depth setting from back to front. This way I got two views, one was below the tree character and one on top to see everything better. From there, it's just a matter of copying your movements, first by creating pose every 12 frames, then 6, then 4, etc. until you get this result. With this workflow, the animation goes fast and the interpolation between keyframes allow even not to have to do all the poses. The result is now identical to the reference video. It's a quick and easy way to animate something like this. Let's move on to this shot. I need Spider-Man to fall and then undergo the pulling of this web by making a coherent curve. Rather than using a curve and a follow pass that are very impractical to use in my opinion, I prefer to animate the root bone first by having the option Calculate Motion Pass activated. It allows me to display in real time the trajectory curve of my character, which is easy to change through the creation compared to the other method or everything goes wrong when you move a single element. I focus first on the trajectory before starting to animate my character. For this shot, I create a simple camera rig by parenting my camera to a circular empty. This way I get a very clean and linear motion, while being able to adjust the distance and height of the camera by scaling the empty or moving it up or down. During the creation of the previs, I took the time to study more in detail the cinema rules in order to improve the composition of my shot. And I went shot by shot to search for a better framing, which allowed me to go from a shot like this to a visually more interesting shot like this. This channel has now reached 10,000 subscribers and it is thanks to you. A huge thanks to all of the people who follow me for a while already and welcome to all the new ones. For this occasion, I will publish soon a trailer of the project, something really special. I am so hyped to release it. I am also opening an online crowdfunding to help me pay for a Nuke license that I am learning at the moment and which will be used for the compositing phase of the project. The license indie is 500 per year. If you want to support the project as well as the channel, each donation will be greatly appreciated. All the links are in the description. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you liked it. We'll see you soon for another update of the project. Bye.